Here's the thing nobody tells you when you buy a dishwasher. Most of them can't even clean themselves. They sparkle in the store under perfect lighting, all stainless steel smiles and glowing LED buttons. But 6 months later, you open that door and get hit with a smell that could peel paint off a wall. And suddenly you realize the dirtiest thing in your kitchen might just be the thing that's supposed to make it clean. Welcome to the world of dishwashers in 2025, where marketing shines brighter than the dishes, and reliability, well, let's just say it's still in the pre-rinse cycle. When you walk into an appliance aisle today, it feels like every model is promising you peace and perfection. Ultra quiet wash, steam dry, AI clean sense. They all sound fancy enough to justify a $1,000 price tag. But there's one detail that determines whether that expensive new machine will last 10 years or barely make it past your next holiday dinner. And it's not the brand. It's what's hiding inside, metal or plastic. See, here's where the industry plays its dirtiest trick. They make you think brand matters most. Bosch, KitchenAid, Whirlpool, Samsung. But none of that means anything if you buy a dishwasher with a plastic tub. A metal tub is the quiet, heat-absorbing hero of every high-end model. It handles heat like a pro, doesn't absorb odor, and won't warp under pressure. Plastic tubs? They're like those cheap folding tables at a yard sale. Fine for a picnic, but you wouldn't want to lean on one too long. Let's break this down like a real-world comparison. Plastic tubs are cheaper, sure. $300 to $500 gets you one with flashy lights and fake stainless trim. But it's like buying a sports car with a lawnmower engine. It'll look good in the showroom and disappoint you at home. Here's what actually happens. Plastic tubs can't handle the same temperature as steel, so your dishes never get that proper heat dry. They come out damp, foggy, with those streaks that scream, "You tried." Metal tubs, on the other hand, reach higher temps safely. They get so hot during the dry cycle, it's like your plates just went through a spa day. And because heat kills bacteria, they also stay cleaner, longer. You open that door and smell nothing, which is exactly what you want. But the biggest secret? Noise. That decibel rating buried on the spec sheet isn't just marketing, it's sanity. Plastic tub dishwashers hum at around 54 decibels, which doesn't sound like much until you try to watch TV in the next room and realize it's the same as a constant rainstorm inside your kitchen. Metal tubs absorb sound. Top-tier models drop to 38 decibels, quieter than a library. You'll hear the click of your dog's paws before you hear the rinse cycle. Here's where it gets ironic. Manufacturers know this, but they'll still slap quiet wash or ultra silent on plastic models because they know most people don't check. The sales pitch is always the same. Oh, this one's only $499 and it's Energy Star certified. Yeah, and your old one from 1998 probably washed better and lasted twice as long. Plastic tubs age like milk. They stain, trap odor, and eventually start to look like the inside of a lunchbox left in a hot car. Meanwhile, metal tubs handle high temps, resist mold, and age like cast iron cookware, better with time. Now don't get me wrong, plastic isn't pure evil. If you're on a budget or renting, they do their job. Kind of like using paper plates at Thanksgiving. But for anyone building or remodeling a home in 2025, a dishwasher with a stainless steel tub is non-negotiable. Think of it as buying peace of mind instead of a warranty extension. And just for fun, let's run a quick owner timeline. Because this happens everywhere. Week 1, spotless dishes, honeymoon phase. Month 3, a faint smell, a little film on the glasses. Month 6, the noise gets louder, filter starts clogging. Month 12, door seal cracks, cycle time doubles, dishes come out wet. Month 15, you're Googling paper plate subscription, and that's with the quiet model. The truth is, the dishwasher market today is a minefield. a mix of genuinely brilliant engineering and corner-cutting shortcuts that look identical on the outside. So before you even think about brands or eco modes, look inside the tub. If it's metal, you're halfway to victory. If it's plastic, walk away. Because at the end of the day, you don't want a dishwasher that just washes dishes. You want one that doesn't make you feel like the dishwasher. Let's get one thing straight. Brand names in 2025 don't mean what they used to. 20 years ago, you could buy a Whirlpool, a KitchenAid, or a Bosch and expect to forget about it for the next decade. Now, you're lucky if your smart dishwasher lasts through one presidential term. Because behind the shiny logos and fancy handles, there's a war going on, not between brands, but between engineering and marketing. See, the truth is simple. The name on the door matters less than what's inside and how much you paid for it. Data from thousands of reviews and technician surveys show the same pattern. Under $500, satisfaction drops faster than your patience on laundry day. Once you cross the $700 mark, people start actually liking their dishwashers, and above $1,000, they start talking about them like pets. So, yeah, price and build quality still walk hand in hand, but some brands play dirtier than others. Let's talk Bosch, the gold standard that still shines. Mostly. If dishwashers had a Hall of Fame, Bosch would already have its own wing. Technicians consistently rank them at the top, and not because of luck, because of consistency. Bosch dishwashers are like those German cars that just feel engineered. Quiet, solid, precise. They don't brag, they just work. But here's the catch. The Bosch 800 series is where that magic really starts. The 100 and 300 lines, cheaper motors, different spray arms, louder cycles. Still good, but not the Bosch experience you think you're getting from the commercial. The 800 series, though, that's where things get silent, like 38 decibels silent. You can run it at midnight and still hear your thoughts. They're pricey, often around $1,100 or more. But this is one of the few cases where expensive actually buys you peace. If you want, buy once, cry once. Bosch is still the name that delivers. KitchenAid, the American performer with a catch. KitchenAid is like that dependable friend who still insists on dressing up for dinner. It looks professional, feels premium, and generally performs like a champ. Their KDTM 404 and KDTM 604 lines are especially good. Quiet, powerful, and armed with 3 racks that make loading oddly satisfying. But here's the trap. KitchenAid and Whirlpool are under the same corporate roof now, and not every KitchenAid is created equal. The cheaper models share internals with standard Whirlpools, so if you're paying for the badge alone, you might just be buying a prettier Whirlpool. Go for the models with stainless steel tubs and full wash arm coverage. Otherwise, you're just buying looks. That said, when you get a good KitchenAid, it's magic. It dries faster than Bosch, has slightly better interior design, and somehow makes dishes sparkle like they just came off a commercial shoot. It's a little noisier, but it gets the job done right. Whirlpool, the workhorse that still has fight left. Whirlpool is like the old pickup truck of the dishwasher world. Not flashy, not the quietest, but built for people who want function over flair. The WDT 750 and WDT 970 lines are their sweet spot. Simple design, decent reliability, and repair parts everywhere. Techs love them because they're easy to fix, and consumers like them because they don't break that often. Avoid the super cheap Whirlpool models under $500. Those are stripped down, often with plastic tubs and weaker motors. But once you get into the $700 to $800 range, you're looking at solid performance for the price. A Whirlpool won't impress your guests, but it also won't die on you in 18 months. And honestly, that's worth more than a fancy light-up display. LG, the overachiever with a split personality. LG dishwashers are complicated. They've come a long way in design, and their high-end models like the LDPH797 are shockingly good for the price. Stainless interior, quiet wash, stylish design. But reliability? That's where things get fuzzy. See, LG's innovation sometimes runs faster than its quality control. When it works, it's a dream. When it doesn't, you'll be on hold with customer service longer than the wash cycle. Their cheaper models, like the LDF5545, tend to struggle with heating elements and drainage. But once you hit $800 plus, you're in safe territory. LG is like that student who can get straight A's, but occasionally forgets to show up to class. Samsung, the brand you'll wish you avoided. Samsung can make a great phone, a great TV, but dishwashers? That's where the applause stops. Technicians practically roll their eyes when you mention Samsung dishwashers. Frequent breakdowns, fragile sensors, and parts that cost half the machine's value. Their designs look futuristic, but it's all surface-level shine. They're also notorious for control board failures, and if that happens, you might as well buy a new one, because replacing the board costs almost as much as the dishwasher itself. Even when they work, they tend to leave dishes wet, because Samsung's hybrid drying system is just a fancy way of saying, we skipped the heating element. Avoid them unless you enjoy frustration disguised as innovation. Frigidaire, the bare minimum. If you're renting out a property or furnishing a vacation home, Frigidaire might make sense. They're cheap, basic, and straightforward. They'll wash your dishes, but that's about it. The FFCD2413 model has been around for decades with minimal updates, and that's both good and bad. Good, because it's simple enough to last. Bad, because it's noisy, weak, and not efficient. A Frigidaire dishwasher is like a motel coffee maker. Functional, but you won't brag about it. Miele, the luxury you don't realize you needed. Now, if Bosch is the gold standard, Miele is the platinum. Hand-built in Germany, engineered like fine watches, Miele dishwashers can last 15 to 20 years, if you can afford them. Their G5000 and G7000 lines are practically silent, and their drying system, which opens the door slightly at the end of the cycle, is a small act of engineering genius. But here's the catch: parts and service. In the US, Miele repair techs are rare, and if something breaks, you're waiting weeks for a fix. So while Miele's reliability is top tier, availability isn't. If you live near an authorized dealer, go for it. Otherwise, stick with Bosch. At this point, you're probably thinking, so if all these brands have good and bad sides, which one's actually worth it? And that's exactly what we'll tackle next. The real-world ranking. From worst to best, based on reliability, performance, and long-term cost. Because this isn't just about brand loyalty, it's about not spending $1,000 on something that quits before your warranty does. Let's face it, some dishwashers are more like kitchen ornaments than appliances. They look beautiful, promise convenience, but under that stainless steel smile, they're plotting your next headache. So here's the truth bomb: the 2025 dishwasher ranking, based on real technician feedback, repair data, and honest owner stories. Not sponsored, not sugar-coated, just raw reality. From the brands that'll make you lose your patience to the ones that'll quietly serve your home for a decade. Number 7. Samsung, the flashy faker. You know that one coworker who talks a big game but never actually delivers? That's Samsung in the dishwasher world. These machines look like they were designed in a sci-fi lab. Sleek buttons, hidden displays, space-age cycles like AutoSense Turbo Dry. Sounds impressive, right? Until it decides to stop draining for no reason. Owner story time: Week 1, smooth as silk. Month 4, mysterious leak. Month 6, door latch broke. Month 9, I'm hand washing again. Samsung's biggest issue isn't how they look, it's how fragile they are. The control boards fail early, the sensors get confused, and the dry cycle often feels like a polite suggestion. And when it breaks, good luck. Finding replacement parts can feel like hunting for a unicorn, and service techs charge as if you're fixing a spaceship. If you love frustration and customer support hold music, this one's for you. Otherwise, keep walking. Number 6. Frigidaire, the budget bare minimum. Frigidaire dishwashers are like instant coffee. They'll get the job done, but nobody's smiling while it happens. They've barely changed in 20 years. The FFCD 2413 model is a time capsule from the early 2000s, still humming away in kitchens and still just as loud as your neighbor's lawnmower. They're cheap, basic, and yes, they'll wash your dishes, but they'll also leave half of them damp and spotted, especially if you try to multitask during the dry cycle. Owners often joke that Frigidaire's drying power depends entirely on how long you leave the door open afterward. But hey, for under $400, you can't expect miracles. If you're renting, flipping a property, or just need something, Frigidaire will do. Just don't confuse it runs with it performs. Number 5. LG, the overachiever who trips over itself. LG's dishwashers are like that one kid who always volunteers for extra credit, but forgets to hand in the assignment. Their high-end models, like the LDPH797, look amazing. Stainless steel tubs, quiet motors, tons of features. But reliability, that's the plot twist. Week 1, perfect. Month 6, water spots. Month 10, error code. I had to Google. The engineering is good, but the quality control is all over the place. Drain pumps and heating elements are common failure points, and some owners report ghost cycles, where the dishwasher restarts on its own. If you get a good LG, it'll impress you. If you get a bad one, it'll make you question your life choices. So yeah, LG is the dishwasher version of a coin toss. Flashy and modern, but don't bet your peace of mind on it. Number 4. Whirlpool, the reliable middle ground. Whirlpool dishwashers are the definition of steady. They don't chase trends, they don't overpromise. They just work. Their top models like the WDT750S AKZ offer great cleaning power, metal tubs, solid drying, and enough cycles to keep everyone happy. They're not the quietest, and they won't make your guests go, wow, but they'll last. And that's something you can't say for half the flashy brands out there. Technicians actually like working on Whirlpools because they're fixable. Parts are everywhere, designs are simple, and reliability is above average. It's the kind of dishwasher that might not impress your friends, but 5 years later, it's still quietly doing its job while theirs are in the landfill. If you want a set-it-and-forget-it kind of machine, Whirlpool's your guy. Number 3, KitchenAid, the premium performer. KitchenAid sits right in that sweet spot, where performance meets polish. Their higher-end models, especially the KDTM 604 KPS, run whisper quiet, dry fast, and have rack designs that make you wonder why every other company still hasn't figured out how to fit pots properly. Owners love them for one simple reason: consistency. You load it, you run it, and it just works. Plus, the drying cycle is noticeably stronger than Bosch, which makes it a favorite for big families or anyone who hates towel drying. But beware the cheaper models. Anything under $700 with the KitchenAid logo is usually a Whirlpool in disguise. If you're going KitchenAid, go all in. Otherwise, you're just paying extra for the badge. Number 2, Bosch, the silent benchmark. Bosch doesn't shout, it whispers. And somehow that's more powerful than any flashy feature Samsung could ever market. The Bosch 800 series is the sweet spot that everyone talks about for a reason. It's quiet. 38 decibels, quiet. You'll literally have to put your ear to the door to make sure it's running. The cleaning performance? Flawless. Dishes come out dry, spotless, and odor-free, even on the eco cycle. Technicians consistently rank Bosch as the most reliable brand on the market. Parts are quality, seals are tight, motors are smooth. It's what a premium dishwasher should feel like. Sure, it's pricey, often $1,100 or more. But considering how long they last, it's an investment that pays off. Just avoid the 100 or 300 series if you want the full experience. The 800 is where Bosch earns its crown. Number 1, Miele, the gold standard. And now, the quiet champion, Miele. While most brands brag about 10-year lifespans, Miele quietly builds dishwashers designed to last 20. They're hand-assembled in Germany, engineered like fine watches, and tested to run for over 10,000 cycles. The G7000 line is pure elegance, silent, powerful, and ridiculously efficient. They even open the door automatically at the end of a cycle to help your dishes finish drying naturally. That's not marketing, that's mechanical precision. The only downside? Price and service availability in the US. If you can afford it and you live near a certified repair center, it's the best dishwasher you'll ever own. If not, stick with Bosch and sleep well, knowing you made the smart move. So, here's your real-world ranking. From worst to best: Samsung, Frigidaire, LG, Whirlpool, KitchenAid, Bosch, Miele. Each one has its place, but only 2 of them truly deserve to live in your kitchen long-term. And in a market full of noise and gimmicks, silence, reliability, and clean dishes are the only things that still matter. Let's end this on a clean note. Literally. Because once you know the truth about dishwashers in 2025, you start to realize that the machine itself isn't the problem. It's the game behind it. The glossy displays, the endless smartwash settings, the fake decibel ratings written in fonts so small you'd need a microscope to read them. All of it designed to distract you from the only thing that actually matters: how long it'll last after the honeymoon phase. Here's the cold truth. Most modern dishwashers are built for replacement, not repair. Plastic tubs, sealed panels, and hidden screws that make DIY maintenance almost impossible. So the real skill today isn't knowing how to run a dishwasher, it's knowing how not to get played by one. Let's talk about that. 1. Ignore the smart labels. If you see AI Wash, AutoSense, or EcoDry written on the box, here's what it really means. Congratulations, we just gave you one more circuit board that can fail. Smart dishwashers sound exciting until the Wi-Fi board shorts out after a power surge, and the repair bill costs more than a new unit. If you want smart, get a surge protector and a simple timer, not a computer pretending to understand your dirty dishes. 2. Know what quiet actually means. Noise ratings are one of the dirtiest tricks in the appliance industry. A cheap dishwasher can legally call itself quiet even at 55 decibels, which, for reference, is louder than normal conversation. Want truly quiet? Look for anything below 45 decibels. And if it's below 40, congratulations, you'll barely know it's alive. Because here's the thing, peace of mind shouldn't come with background noise. 3. The metal tub rule. Let's repeat it one last time, because this is the deal breaker. If the tub isn't stainless steel, walk away. A metal tub gives you hotter drying, quieter cycles, and zero odor over time. Plastic tubs are like cheap gym shoes. They trap smells, stain fast, and collapse under pressure. No matter what the salesperson says, no matter how eco-efficient it sounds, metal tubs win every single time. They're the reason Bosch, KitchenAid, and Miele dominate technician surveys year after year. 4. Don't trust showroom ratings. Here's a secret. Most appliance stores don't even plug in the dishwashers on display. That quiet demo model you just touched? It's never run a single cycle. They're all polished, empty promises. The only thing that matters is what's underneath the shine. Real metal interior, strong racks, accessible filter, and yes, a door hinge that doesn't feel like it came off a toy truck. If it looks fragile, it probably is. 5. Maintain like a pro without paying for one. You want your dishwasher to last? Here's the short list every technician wishes you'd follow. Clean your filter once a month. It's the difference between sparkling and spotty. Run a cleaning cycle with vinegar or a tablet every 60 days. Wipe the seals and door gasket regularly. And for the love of everything stainless, don't overload it like you're packing a moving van. These small habits can add years to the life of your dishwasher. Neglect them, and even a Bosch will start to sound like it's crying for help. 6. Timing is everything. Want to save hundreds? Appliance sales happen like clockwork. Memorial Day, 4th of July, Labor Day, and Black Friday. That's when you pounce. Because paying full price for an appliance in 2025 is like paying for bottled air at the gym. Completely unnecessary. 7. The secret upgrade trick. Here's a little insider move. Look for scratch and dent models from high-end brands. Small cosmetic flaws can mean 40% off, and 99% of the time, the performance is identical. Your dishes don't care if there's a tiny mark on the side panel. They'll come out just as clean, and your wallet will thank you. At the end of the day, buying a dishwasher isn't about keeping up with the latest features. It's about finding something that still believes in doing its job. You don't need a dishwasher that talks to your phone. You need one that won't need therapy after the first power outage. And here's the kicker. If your parents' dishwasher lasted 15 years, it wasn't luck. It was design. It wasn't smart. It was solid. Somewhere along the way, manufacturers traded longevity for LED displays. They made us believe modern means better, but better doesn't mean more complicated. It means more reliable. So before you hand over that credit card, remember, you're not buying convenience. You're buying trust. And trust, once broken, doesn't come with a warranty. If this video helped you dodge a bad buy, hit that like button, subscribe, and join us here at Frugal Choise, where we don't just spend, we spend smart. Because the only thing better than clean dishes is knowing your dishwasher won't quit before your dinner guests do.